Okay, here we go, World of Warships, and I am driving my Tier 8 German, made out of citadels cruiser, the Nurnberg. We are on the Trident map. It's an epicenter game, and it's actually pretty good matchmaking for this ship. As you can see, Tier 6, tops out at Tier 6, although it's Tier 5 and Tier 6 across the board, and pretty good mix of ships, I think. A lot of destroyers on each side, but that's not that big a deal. Now, the Nurnberg, like I just said, it's made out of citadels, but on the other hand, it's got pretty good guns. See if I can get the stats to come up here or not. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't, and I don't think they're going to. But I can shoot out to a range. I can shoot out to a range of 16.5 kilometers with this, and that's really the Nurnberg's strength. If I can get up to speed and put some reasonably accurate fire out and just, dodge and weave from this end and keep the bad guys at arm's length plus, double arm's length, I can actually do pretty well in this ship. Because, again, as you can see, I got a lot of incoming fire. I've only taken one hit, but that one hit did do some damage. On the other hand, the amount of damage I've done so far is about equal to what I've taken. So, anyway, enemy Nurnberg, he's a lot closer than he probably should be, and as you can see, I'm switching out the HE, and I'm going with the high explosive, or excuse me, I'm going switching out the HE and going with the armor piercing. Wow, and the idea is to just try to pepper this guy as best I can. So there's some friendly torpedoes going out towards him, and again, I'm just trying to keep the range open. I'm more concerned about that battleship shooting at me than that Nurnberg. Although, again, given the right circumstances, that Nurnberg can do a number on me. But I'm going to go ahead and just keep putting armor-piercing shells out of this guy. And somebody just nailed him. I'm not sure who, but he's really slowing down. And he's got some destroyers up at point-blank range to him, and I think those HE shots from the Farragut are going to get in there first. And sure enough, our Farragut kills the Nurnberg. So we're up a couple of ships. We've taken out Nicholas and a Nurnberg. We just lost an Omaha, however, and I am putzing around halfway out of the cap circle down at roughly H7. So I'm swinging back around. I'm trying to decide what I can do to get myself back into the game and actually be effective again. So the enemy Koenig, he's out of my range. There's a destroyer up there somewhere that's out of sight. So again, at this point, what I want to do is take a look at the minimap and see what's going on. So I'm looking roughly at that cluster of ships that I've got that I'm sailing towards right now. There's 5 enemy ships, a couple battleships, a couple cruisers, a destroyer, and they're just right now starting to come into my gun range. And I have absolutely nothing to lose by taking some speculative shots, semi-speculative shots at that Bayern. Because even though he's behind the island, I should be able to loop some shells over, but they're going to be kind of tricky. Oh, and I did manage to get a hit, but on the other hand, I've got a Cleveland out there, and I am outside of the Cleveland's gun range. And, I'm going ahead, again, reloading AP, trying to put the shells down range, but the Cleveland is, he's turning and moving out of range. So far my gunnery hasn't been that good. Haven't hit a lot of shots. And again, I'm trying to stay at range just so I can just caught him on the tip of his superstructure there. Anyway, I'm trying to stay at range so I can pretty safely just work these guys over. So the Dunkirk, again, I'm trying to open up on him with HE just so I can get some fire started. And I did get a fire started. I don't know if he put my fire out specifically, or if he actually had something else going on. But you know what? Let's get some fire downrange on him. See if we can set more fires. We've got destroyers in there close with him. And there we go. We got another fire, and this one should be able to burn for a while. Although, to be honest, I really need to hit the front edge of that ship. But look at that. He's got some torps coming in. He's got, well, practically everybody on the map, but he is going to eat it. And good on our Minikaze. So, the Kirov, he's now at range. So, again, reloading armor piercing since he insists on giving me his broadside. And after it takes a little bit to get used to the ranging on these ships, and depending on the specific ship that you're using, well, usually I can find the mark pretty quick, but today I'm just having a hard time. But that's not what this is all about, or at least my gunnery, immediate gunnery, isn't what this is all about. So, enemy team is pretty much clustered north of the epicenter. Nobody's holding it. On the other hand, this Gnevny is off on his own, but he has got our Fubuki. Well, he's going to have him dead to rights here shortly. But of course, our Fubuki has got some torps in the water, and I can't remember if he's going to get lucky or not. Now, we are up one ship, and I'm trying to move as quickly as I can to maybe get some shots in on this Gnevny. So, trying to get around the island. And we just lost our Farragut, and we lost something else as well. So we just lost a couple ships, so we're down. And I did get a couple hits there, but still not much. So unfortunately, the Fubuki is going to be kind of on his own. So now I'm trying to line shots on the Gnevny, and again, dangerous destroyer, especially to a cruiser. You can load up that armor piercing and just work us over. Now on the other hand, you know, light cruiser. You know, if I have a destroyer at a disadvantage, and this is having a destroyer at a disadvantage. That's what I want to do. So, again, looking at the mini-map, trying to figure out exactly what I can do that's useful. And right now, the only thing that's really useful is lobbing shots over the island at this Bayern and staying pretty much as undetected as possible, because I do not want that Gnevny to work me over any more than he has the opportunity to. So, the Bayern is close. He's swinging south. And you notice I've got my torpedoes up. So, because what I'm planning to do is swing down south of the island here and drop torps on the Bayern if I get the opportunity to do so. However, I have the Fubuki out in front of me. I have the Bayern, a friendly Bayern, out in front of me. And now I'm concerned that, you know, anything I do drop, I'm going to put more friendlies at risk than anything else. Now, I'm wondering why this Fubuki is not setting up a torp run on this Bayern. He may not have torps up. And our Bayern just ate a lot of torps. And he's not going to be long, especially given the course that he's sailing. So I go ahead and I just drop torps on the enemy Bayern's predicted track, and then I'm going to light him up with HE as I come around the corner here. But first, I think it's really the priority target is the Gnevny. Our destroyers can do for the Bayern. He'll have our Fubuki. If he gets the opportunity, we'll have a better chance. I want to take this Gnevny out while I've got, the opportunity to do so. And again, as you can see, my gunnery is just not quite getting it done. But he's on fire. He's going to tick down, and even if he doesn't... Alright, so finally got a kill, and, well, we are even. So, we were even. Okay, we just lost our Fubuki, and now we've got a couple of enemy ships on the far east side of the map. We've got the Koenig coming in at us, and we've got the Kirov coming in at us. And the Koenig, well, I get lucky, and I duck under most of the shells, so I don't take too much damage. He's well within my gun range, but the problem is I need to get out. I need to extend the range between the two of us. So I'm pulling a hard 180, and then all of a sudden I see the enemy Fubuki going in after our carrier, and we really need our carrier in this match as long as we can keep him in the match. So I can't really make a regular charge at the Fubuki because I would have just too many enemy ships shooting at my broadside. So as it is, I've got to shoot at this guy from a distance. So, you know, aim out in front of him, give him plenty of lead, and then give him a hair more lead. That's really the way you want to do it when you're shooting at a destroyer from long range. He's dodging and weaving probably as best he can, but I think I'm not sure. His engine might be damaged because he doesn't seem to be moving that particularly well. And I just, you know, a perfect bracket, which means I've got the range on him. I've just got to get some hits. And there we go. All right. So, while that was going on, enemy Farragut is sneaking up on me. And again, just like with the Fubuki or the Genevni, this is the kind of target I can really work over. So, led him probably just a hair too much there because he was definitely slowing down. Put some more shots out exactly where I thought he was going to continue being, and sure enough, he kind of rolled into that or slid into that spot, and I put a few more in there. But now I can't see him. But at this point, I have to ask myself, what is that Farragut? Why is that Farragut not shooting at me? If I were in that smoke screen, I would be unloading with all my guns on this Nurnberg that's at point-blank range. I'd probably even have some armor piercing loaded. And but with that in mind, I'm not going to complain because I'm not getting shot up. So, come around the corner, swing back. I activate my hydroacoustic search just so I can get an early warning on any torpedoes that are coming out. And I get this guy spotted. And he of course reacts, moves out immediately. Put torps into the smoke screen, and here comes some high explosive from that Koenig. Don't know why he's shooting HE at me, but again, not going to complain. So I'm cutting back the other way just so I can avoid any potential torps coming from the Farragut, and putting more HE out at the Koenig. Now we are down. We've lost our carrier, so it's just me, friendly Bayern, friendly Koenig, against 5 enemy ships right now. We are surrounded. Well, yeah, we are surrounded. We've got the Koenig and the Farragut to our south, and we've got the Cleveland and the Kirov to our north. So I go ahead, switch back to armor piercing, because now I've got an island between me and the Koenig. I can't really do anything useful shooting at him, so the idea at this point is to shoot at what I can see.
Torpedoes.
So, I know there's torpedoes. I know there's torpedo planes in the air. I know the Farragut's shooting. Didn't get any hits on that shot of the Kirov, but good on our Bayern for getting the kill. So, Farragut around the corner here. I'm trying to think, okay, which way is he going? He's more or less sitting still, but if I can come around this corner and slide some shots into him, that's going to help. And he knows I'm coming. Nope, he's going to get away. So, launch my aircraft. And now I can get some fresh eyes on the Farragut. And he's playing it smart and turning away again. But now he's swinging back. And again, I've got torpedoes up. I got them ready. And I put one spread out and a second spread out, but in a minute here we'll see just how that did not work very well. So, hoping that Koenig is going to maybe blunder into my torpedoes, but at the same time I'm trying to swing around. Okay, and here comes the Farragut, but look at my torpedoes. The way I put them out, they're almost on the exact same track. Armor piercing loaded. Got to shoot it anyway. Get some overpins, that's all right. And I want to get torpedoes out at this Koenig, so I'm swinging around, trying to do it, but I can't show too much of my broadside because if he's got AP loaded, he will be able to hurt me badly. The Farragut's shooting at me, and the Cleveland just does just did for our banner. Now, I get a fire started. And get another fire started, and he's probably going to put those out here pretty quick. Ooh. Well, I anticipated... they get a fire on me. Go ahead and use my repair ability, but... repair party. But I anticipated that Farragut cutting left. He doesn't. He cut back right. So, at this point, it's me against the Koenig and the Farragut. And the only thing that's going to save me here is... speed and a little bit of RNG. If I can get behind this island, and his salvo missed, and I get a fire set. So he's on about 2/3 health, and he just took a nice hit from our friendly Koenig, so he's down to about half health now, and I need to get a little further around this corner. Ouch. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. All right, the Koenig is playing it smart. He's pulled himself to a stop, and right now we are being spotted by the enemy CV. The Farragut is in there with the Koenig, and if you look at the points, we are losing on points. We are also down a ship. So that enemy CV is going to be able to do some spotting for us. Now, I haven't seen the aircraft come over in a while, so the enemy CV might be out of aircraft, and if he is, that's great. But then the Farragut gets silly and comes out of the smoke to spot me. All he had to do was stay in the smoke. So I get a hit on him, damage his rudder, I get a fire, but I'm pretty sure he put that out right away, which is absolutely the right course. Somehow he misses that. That salvo misses him, but our Koenig comes through and gets the kill, and we are no longer spotted. So we are actually up on points, but they are holding the center, and they're gaining points. So we've got to flush that Koenig out. Well, we don't have to flush him out, but we got to get in there so he can't earn any more points. And there we go. So I'm in here, and I have activated my hydroacoustic search. And here in a moment, we will see exactly what that's going to do. Now our friendly Koenig is spotted because of the enemy aircraft carrier. And look at that. So I'm swinging around. He is backing up. I put a set of torps out on his predicted path, and I put a second set of torps out wide on his just a little to the right in case he decides to start slowing down. All right, I'm close in here. I'm trying to get some fire set, but he's put the fires out, which is great because that if I get a torpedo hit and I flood him, well, one hit. 2 hits. And we have a minute left in the match. We are capping the epicenter. And, well, at this point, I don't think there's anything... well, I'm positive that there's nothing that the enemy carrier can do. And with that, we pulled out a pretty tight victory. So anyway, I don't have post-game stats available because when this one was over, I went ahead and just kind of breathed a big sigh of relief, and I'm like, you know what? After a finish like that, it's time to quit for the night because let's quit while I'm on a high note type thing. Not that I was having a bad night or anything. It was just, like I said, one of those type finishes. But the Nurnberg, it's a good ship. Well, let me rephrase that. I like it. It fits my play style. Kind of sit at a distance and plink at and harass your enemies type thing. It's got its strengths, of course, the German hydroacoustic search. It's got the fighter aircraft, and most interesting of all, it's got the 2 turrets at the back end of the ship. And those 2 turrets mean that you can, well, one, of course, you can point the back end of the ship at the bad guys and keep up a reasonable amount of fire at them. But 2, you can do that while you're running away, and that might be able to actually confuse your enemies. And more to the point, you can confuse your enemies even more by running away some more. So, but despite some, let's say some, dodgy shooting, some questionable decisions early in the match, some not particularly effective gameplay, I was able to save my health and save my health, save my consumables, and keep those available for a very critical moment at the end of the match. And with that in mind, again, this is more of a, hey, here's what happened in a tight situation than a here's me being an outstanding player. I played overall okay until the tail end of the match, and I had the advantage going into those final engagements, and that's really what it worked out to. So anyway, with that, I hope you enjoyed the replay, and yeah, I guess that is about it. So thanks for watching if you're watching, and with that, I will talk to you later. Bye.